after I graduated, my mom and I just started writing the screenplay together. It was just a little bit of like, it was like a hobby. We just started for fun, and then I showed it to one of my former bosses at an internship, and he was really supportive. He read the script immediately, and at our next meeting he was like, actually, I want to produce this with you. So I started producing it with him. I reached out to Quentin because everybody was like, you need to talk to Quentin, he's going to be perfect, and I'd always been a fan of his work, so I was like, oh my god, I need Quentin. So I eventually met him, and he read the script, responded to it, and said that this was the next film he wanted to make. So I got really lucky with Quentin, and he's been perfect for the film, and I'm just so grateful to him for sticking with the project, and he really is capturing our vision.
I'm David Henry Huang, and I am executive producer and script advisor for White Frog, and I'm also playing the role of the pastor. Ellie showed me a draft of the script of White Frog, which she and her mother Fabienne had written. I was willing to read it, but I didn't expect as much as I discovered. I thought it was a beautiful story and wonderfully articulated and complicated and rich and with beautiful dialogue. And I thought, you know, this is a story that, yes, it's an Asian American family, but it's not really about being Asian American in the traditional sense that we've considered it, and that this would be something kind of beautiful and new and fresh to do. And so when they asked me to join as executive producer, I wasn't really sure what executive producers do, but I wanted to help the project along, and I said yes.
My name is Chris Lee. I'm one of the producers on White Frog. White Frog is a very personal story in which it really, without giving away what happens in it, it's really about being yourself. And it's about being in that awkward time that we all go through, and some of us go through our entire lives, trying to figure out how we fit in the world, how we fit in with our family, how we fit in with our friends. And I think that this is a different way to tell a familiar and universal story. This being a 15-year-old boy with Asperger's, sort of caught in the shadow of his older brother, who's much beloved by the family, and who is unfortunately killed in a tragic car accident, and then the family sort of tumbles into disarray, and it's literally up to this little boy to lead them back to being whole again.
White Frog came to me about a year ago when I was on Facebook, and a filmmaker friend Facebooked me and asked me if I would be interested in directing a film for another friend. I said yes, so Ellie sent me the script, and when I read it, I liked it immediately because I knew the story came from a very personal place, and we started making the movie, and so when I was directing it, I held onto that very personal perspective and emotionality of the script. I've always loved this whole genre of coming-of-age movies or young adult movies. I love movies like My Life as a Dog, Stand By Me, or Pele the Conqueror, but I've never made a movie in that genre. So after my last movie, The People I've Slept With, which is a sex comedy, I just thought this would be a perfect movie for me to make. Coincidentally, 2 weeks before the production, my sister Tabitha was diagnosed with Asperger's in Hong Kong. And at that point, my family had no idea that I was making a movie about a kid with Asperger's. And that strange coincidence made White Frog even more personal to me.
My name is Boo Boo Stewart, and I play the character Nick Young. His part in the movie really is to bring the family back together. After the tragic accident that happens, Nick kind of has to bring everyone back together. In his own way, he brings everyone back together. The way I would describe Nick is, well, he has Asperger's, it's a form of autism. He's really one-track minded. Like, when he thinks about something, that's all he thinks about. It doesn't matter what anyone else is saying. If they ask him a question, he'll ask him a question back of what he's thinking about. Nick Young's relationship to his parents, they're not people that he can go to and talk to. Like, he gets nervous around them rather than being comfortable around them. And he's just a really shy person. Like, the only person he really opens up to is his brother, Chaz.
My name is Harry Shum Jr., and I'm playing Chaz Young. Chaz Young, he's the glue of the family, of the Young family. He's the older brother that, you know, has grown up taking care of his younger brother because his parents didn't really know how to take care of a kid with a mild case of Asperger's syndrome. And he's a strong guy, but obviously he has some things that he's dealing with and that he's hiding that people don't know and will find out. I love the script for the fact that it was a great story of a coming of age story, and especially which happens a lot in a lot of families in real life, that you have that one glue that holds a family together barely, and then when that glue goes away sometimes, then you have a lot of things to deal with that might come up that would never happen before, and people have to step up to the plate to fix things.
My name is B.D. Wong, and I'm playing the role of Oliver Young. Oliver is a kind of dad who likes things in order and wants things to be kind of perfect. Nick is a unique and interesting person, but someone that Oliver cannot necessarily appreciate in the opening of the movie. And so accepting and embracing his special qualities are a big part of the movie, or a big part of my track of the movie.
I'm Joan Chen, and I play Irene Young. Irene is a housewife whose sole attention is her 2 children. And pretty early on in the film, the older son is their favorite son, basically, dies. So this is a journey for Irene to protect the memory of the son and how to learn to love the younger son without the help of the older son.
Hey, I'm Greg Solkin, and I play a kid called Randy Goldman. Randy is a kid from the outside. His life looks perfect. You know, he has everything going for him. He has beautiful house, beautiful cars, and then on the inside, Randy, I'd say, isn't comfortable in his own skin. So there's a lot more to Randy than just what you see on the outside. There's a lot of stuff going on inside of him. Nick and Randy have a very interesting relationship. Early on in the story, they kind of butt heads. Randy feels like kind of Nick is maybe not to blame, but something is not right. And then as the movie kind of develops, you realize that they both have insecurities and they both have similarities regarding their own comfortability and their own, you know, how comfortable they are in their own skin, for example. And they strike a very unique and loving friendship, which is completely unexpected.
I'm Tallulah Riley, and I'm playing Ms. Lee. She is very flamboyant and creative and kind-hearted. She runs a centre for kids called the Firehouse, where they can hang out and do art and things like that. And she's Chaz's best friend. She meets Nick when he comes to the Firehouse and when he's on his journey to discover more about Chaz's life. And I think she's heard a lot about him from Chaz, and so she understands, you know, his mannerisms and things like that.
My name is Tyler Posey, and I play the role of Doug. Doug is a super laid-back kid. He's got a good heart and takes Nick under his wing after Chaz dies. You know, he's trying to fill Chaz's shoes a little bit and be a cool older brother type person to Nick. Really, I've never played a role like Doug before, and he's so similar to me because I'm just like super laid back and like we're both like pretty similar, and that's what really attracted me to it because I've never played somebody like me before in a role, and I thought that was would be a really cool opportunity to do, and it is so far. I love it. I love playing Doug.
My name is Kelly Hu, and I play a character, Auntie May, or May Chung, who is a lawyer, who is the sister of Joan Chen's character, Irene. And I come in to sort of stir up some trouble in a scene and help my sister out. This character in particular, you know, it's one of those tough-ass characters that I'm always playing. I don't know why, but somehow people think I'm really tough.
My name is Manish Dayal, and I'm playing Ajit. My character is a conservative, sort of bookish sort of character. I think my character is that sort of distraction or setback for Nick, because he doesn't quite understand who Nick is or what he's about or what he's trying to achieve. And I think that immediately my character is sort of criticizing Nick and not really understanding his condition and not trying to understand his condition. he just doesn't want him around.
Well, I'm Justin Martin, and the name of my character is Cameron. He was one of Chaz's best friends. He's in the group with Doug and Randy, Ajit, and basically, you know, he's just he's cool. He likes playing poker with all the rest of the cast, and one thing that stands out about him, I think, is his wardrobe. You'll find in the movie that his wardrobe, he's really stylish. So thanks to the wardrobe people. But yeah, he's a cool cat. When he first comes and starts hanging out with us, we were a little standoffish, but as the story progresses, we start, you know, kind of taking him into our circle as if he were Chaz. Initially, you know, Randy's character and Ajit's character were kind of standoffish to him, but I was kind of the first one other than Doug to, you know, soften up to him and let him know that it was okay to, you know, be into our circle. So.
My name is Amy Hill, and I play Dr. King. I play Nick's therapist. As far as I know, there's no other therapist that he goes to. I'm it. I feel as though I also had a relationship with his brother in terms of therapy. So his brother, having had a relationship with me, encouraged Nick and his family to allow Nick to come to see me as well, which gave them, you know, an opportunity for Nick to have another outlet to talk about his feelings. But also, since Chaz's passing, it gave Nick an opportunity to, you know, work through his grief.
A lot of people that have Asperger's make their own video blogs. And I've noticed, like, Asperger's, it ranges, like, from really high level to really mild level. And so I kind of had to take from, like, everybody. I couldn't, like, look at, like, oh, these are the symptoms of Asperger's and, like, put them there and do that thing. Because everyone's symptoms seem different to me when I would watch them on YouTube. So I kind of took a little bit from everybody that I saw on YouTube and made my own. Being able to, like, play a character that has Asperger's, I think you should have to, like, feel comfortable around everyone so you can just try new things. And I feel really comfortable around the whole crew, and I don't feel embarrassed to do something, which is, I think, is the most important thing.
I hope, you know, because independent movie is kind of tricky, that we keep some of our more gritty edges, keep the independent spirit, and just say what we want to say. I mean, it is a family drama and coming-of-age story. It's specifically an Asian family story, but it is really just a family story and coming of age. And I hope people come away having been touched by the characters, the story, and the journey that we've been on.